Hello, I'm RetroJules. So I had to go to the doctor's the other day, had a little bit of a rash, and the doctor prescribed me some cream, went to the chemist, went home, opened up my tube of cream, and it was hand cream. The doctor obviously assumed that what I showed him was a finger. Do you know what? It was cold that day. So I thought maybe I can put this hand cream to good use and perhaps it may curb my itchy trigger finger. Hand cream applied. Will this cure my itchy trigger finger? It's an encounter battle on Pearl River. I'm playing the T49. Oh my god, I hear you cry again. It's not the Vanguard. Do you know what? I forgot a while back that I was grinding for the Sheridan. I'd ground the T49 before because, bear with me on this because it's a long time ago, but light tanks only went as far as tier 9 and the T49 was the end of the American light tech tree, and you would play it with the derp gun, and I hated it. I'm not a good enough shot with the derp gun, and derp guns can let you down, and just did not like the tank and ditched it completely. Then of course the Sheridan came along when the tier 10 lights came in, and I forgot that I'd started the T49 grind again, rebought it, got rid of the derp gun and favoured a more reliable gun. And when I looked at my tanks, I only had about 40,000 XP to go to get the Sheridan, so I thought, why don't I just try and finish off that grind? So this is me trying to curb the itchy trigger finger and not really achieving it. It's, at this stage, I would say the cream hasn't quite soaked in. I've got myself in a nice position. I'm not getting detected, but I am still taking those shots that maybe, you know, aren't necessary, because our team are hitting the targets that I highlight, and I am still putting these shots in and they're not hitting their targets. It's a little bit pointless. I may have to go back for an extra strength cream, but Artie's right out in the open. He's making a run for it. Well, we got one shot in. You see, I risked exposing myself with those shots, and all of I'm using auto aim, but all I'm actually achieving really at this stage is 3 penetrating hits. I've got a couple of criticals in there, but my team have got 20 in. It's not doing any harm. I'm sort of hull down. I'm fairly confident that I can protect myself. But it's, for me, it's just learning to get that position and get in position for the team. Stay there. Keep the enemy spotted. And don't fire and expose my position. However, full health, not really a big problem. I had a bit of protection. When I tend to do it more is when I'm out in the open and I'm in a bush, and then I'll expose myself and I've got nothing to hide behind. So where it can generally go all wrong for me, apart from taking pot shots that are unnecessary and exposing myself and letting the enemy know where I am, is also of course leaving that point when the team have stopped firing and I then have to become a tanker and move around the map and not get hit. That is a big problem for me, generally. How am I supposed to traverse a map if Wargaming put dirty Great Rocks right in the middle of nowhere? Stupid place for a rock. And it was a really small rock. I mean, how was I supposed to see it? It was about twice the size of my tank. Anyway, moving on. I'm kind of like, where do I go? Where do I go? Let's sneak through the village because there's a bit of protection there. Most of their team is on the 2 line around H2 and T32. Well, I got a lucky auto-aim in. I keep it auto-aimed. Another shot in on the run. And light tanks will let me auto-aim. I do have a lot of habits because I auto-aim. I use auto-aim to find my target and pinpoint it initially. And then, if I'm feeling brave, you see, yeah, that was never going to go in really, bouncing off that upper glacis. But then because I use auto-aim to find my target, sometimes I'm very tempted to just snap a shot. And those little snapshots quite often work, you see, like that, because I'm not really a good enough tanker to be peeking around the corner, zooming in and moving my reticle manually onto a soft spot and then taking the shot. Normally by the time I've worked all that out, I've got a face full of shell and lost a lot of health, so I tend to just poke around and do a quick little snap.
All our artillery has been destroyed. Focus attention here. The enemy knows our location.
So, 2 tanks left. There they are. And this is me not quite being map aware, really. I kind of go wading in thinking that I'm going to come up on that tank destroyer from behind. Not really registering where the medium was because it was up there somewhere. So I'm coming right round and yeah, gets a shot in. That was just not really being that map aware. However, the luck of retro does prevail. I'll just keep moving. Manoeuvrability is always key for me. Auto-aim on and get the last shot in anyway. So, hand cream, first application of the hand cream, 22 assisted damage, 4,700 assisted damage, and I still had an itchy trigger finger. 137,000 silver, 8,000 XP, there's all sorts of missions in there, and a combined damage of just over 6,000. Do you know what? That was alright, I quite enjoyed it actually. And we came top overall. So, a few applications of cream later. And of course I've got to assume that the doctor did prescribe the wrong cream. Or maybe I've just completely misinterpreted it and I shouldn't be rubbing it into my hands. Either way, it seemed to be working on this game. So, T49 again. Westfield, a map I enjoy. I'm going to head for about F6-ish, which is normally a spot that I go to in the Vanguard. And then I start firing off shots and exposing my position. This tank is a lot bigger than the Vanguard. Not really got a great camo value because it's quite a high tank. But I'm going to sit here. I'm going to spot the enemy for the team and I am not going to take a shot. And what I'm not going to do is go into first person view, because if I then do that I'm really going to be tempted, because all those tanks climbing the hill are soft side on shots and I can't resist taking those shots. So by not going into that view I won't be tempted. And because they're moving, I've not even done a cheeky little auto aim snap because I know it's probably gonna miss. I am passive spotting and telling the team, great shot, keep them motivated. If I tell them it's a great shot, they might take some more shots. In my head, that's how it's going to work. Just going to sit in this... Ooh, steady as you go, Retro. Oh, you have no idea. I think the cream's wearing off. Oh, my finger is so itchy. But it's working. not taking the shot. 5,000, over 5,000 assisted damage already. We're not even 5 minutes into the game. Perhaps this is what I should start doing from now on. Just don't take shots. Just let my team do it. They do a better job than I do. Just coming up to 6,000 assisted damage. That is amazing. And there it is, 6,127 assisted damage. And the Scorpion G pops up, exposes my position. I'm a little bit worried about the light tanks at G9, but the chances are they're probably too busy running away from our team. So I just back up and get out of the way and get out of trouble. Make my way through and see if I can do anything. Nice turret shot. No. Fluffed it. First shot of the game and fluffed it. Better. Go on, one more, you get the kill. One more, just stay there. One more. And just moved forward and legged it. Ah, deprived of that kill. So the heavies are coming over at the northwest. The majority of our team are sort of, well, we're really quite scattered actually, but the majority are in the east direction. Snapping a shot on an E100, well, it didn't do any harm, didn't do any good. Hit the tracks on the lurver, and it disappears over the hill. Time to get up there and see if I can do a little bit of auto-aim dancing and help take those tanks out. I was tempted to roll down the hill and take out Arty. I am an Arty hunter, but our team will absolutely nail that, and I thought, no, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to go and support the guys up here who are kind of sort of almost outnumbered. This is a more beneficial place for me to be, if nothing else, as a distraction, while our team take them out. I'm on full health, so I can afford, for once, to be a little bit frivolous towards the end of the game and use that health pool to an advantage. Whereas normally I end up in this position and I'm a one-shot and I can't be anywhere near as brave. So just popping up the top here to see if I can get, and no, that's not going to work. No, go on, get in there. I would focus on the lurver if I were you, because that's a nice juicy tier 8.
The enemy knows our location.
We're going in fast. Which way are they looking? There's a lurver. Nice shot in. Another shot in. Can we get a kill? Yes! Let's pick on the tier 8 heavy. One tier down to get the kill. Well, if it works, it works. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm not sure about snapshotting a 279E is a good idea, but it doesn't matter. Well, how did that game pan out? My fingers do feel really nice, actually. Nice and supple, nice and moisturised, not itchy at all. Very decent amount of silver, excellent XP. Over 7,700 combined damage. This cream is a little miracle worker. I do recommend it. And we come top again. Sorry, what was that? You want me to roll out the Vanguard? I would be delighted. You're right, it doesn't seem right to have a video without some Vanguard hilarity. Am I not going to take the shots? Does the cream work for the Vanguard? Do you know what? Possibly helps a little. My fingers are very supple. I feel like I've got ladies' hands there. You feel rather lovely. I guess this video is going to contain auto-aiming, bad driving, luck, sticky situations, hopefully getting out of sticky situations, and the general tanking of a Vanguardian. So, I've probably mentioned before that I generally do quite well on this map. This map seems to work well for this tank. Well, it looks like I'm not going for the passive scouting. I'm taking shots, and you will see by the shots that I take why I generally rely on auto-aim. I'm a dreadful, dreadful shot. And what doesn't help is the Vanguard's shell velocity is pretty slow. It's not an excuse. I could just lead my shots more, but, you know, take slow shell velocity and a bad aim don't make a good mix. So just going to sit in this general position. I'm kind of expecting the tanks to sort of congregate towards the cap because it's an encounter battle. But as you can see, at the southeast, about 4 of their heavies have gone that way. So the chances are we've probably got 4 of their heavies this way as well, and there's a complete split either side. And there's oh-ho, which is a bit of a no-no for me. Going to take a side shot, are you? Are you not going to reload in time? Paladin. Do you know what? I don't even know what that is. Anyway, it's getting just a little bit busy, and I'm not sure. Our team aren't pushing. In fact, we've got a little congregation at F4 at our sort of favourite tank destroyer position, which I also see a lot of heavies in. And then we've got a little congregation at E2 where they're just sort of sat on the corner. And in fact, there's not really a lot of our team available to shoot the targets that I light up. It's getting rather busy. There's a medium at C3 just sat up on that hill which is spotting me. Fortunately, there's no artillery in this game, so I can relax a little bit. You see, in the good old days of the game, I knew what an FV was, I knew what the objects were, I knew what the T's were, but all these other names that come into the game, it's a little bit much these days. I will look up Paladin after this, and I'll probably go, oh yeah, I remember when that came into the game, but I'm just having a complete mental block. I'm assuming it's not a mercenary tank, because it's not a completely stupid name. So I'm going to assume at this stage it's some sort of, well, I know it's a premium, because it's definitely not a tech tree tank. And here we go. One shot in, one shot miss. And another thing, I probably haven't mentioned enough the things I love about this tank. I love hiding it. If you get into a bit of a situation, you don't need to find a very big rock to hide behind. And a nice use of that last shell. And we're on a reload. You really can tuck yourself into little nooks and crannies and just disappear for a reload. And work out where you're going to go next. So where are you going to go next, Retro? What's your plan? Do you know what? Don't really know. I kind of feel like, really, because of the way our team is, and our team are being very defensive, that I should try and head through the centre of the map and maybe try and come around the backs of the enemy and catch them unawares. So I think if I head for H9, that could be a good position where they're engaging our team front on. And oh, somebody's just taken a shot at me. Are we clear up here? Oh no, vengeance. Okay, a little bit of clumsy tanking here. And that tank is chasing me without a doubt. Oh, wiggle, Retro. Half health on a reload. I am going to try and lead it towards where our medium is at J8, and hopefully that will just kind of work. But as I come around the corner, Oh, surprise! There's 2 heavies. That's not what I was expecting. Fluffs its shot. 1 shot in. Can I take out the T32? 1 more shot. Yes! Right, use the dead tanks for cover. There's no time for frivolity and joy just yet. And, yep. And what I didn't realise is our medium is barely keeping himself alive and trying not to drown. Didn't know this at the time. So I was really lucky to get away with what I did. But we have 2 kills under our belt. I'm just going to circle round. And that Vengeance isn't interested in the medium in the water. Is absolutely coming for me. 1 shot in. And between me and the other medium, we take that tank out. And finally, that medium gets itself out of the water. Sorry, mate. Had this been Mud Runner, I'd have winched you out. Didn't realise at the time he was struggling to stay alive. That part of the game could have panned out so differently. Right. We're 1 tank up. All to play for. Nobody, it seems in this game, is interested in capping. Hurrah! As much as capping's a great way to win, no, it's not a great way to win. As much as capping is a way to win and completely viable, it is nowhere near as much fun as annihilating the enemy. Oh, Retro, that's that kill-all mentality. I know, but it's fun. And it's too early to cap. It's not going to work. And there's that Paladin, a shot in, and kind of dithered there a little bit. I probably should have kept my momentum and circled right around and then tried to zip off to do a reload. And I might have got a couple more shells in, but as it happens, I just backed off. But I've got some support now, although I think that medium's supporting me. So hopefully they're focused on that medium at D6, and I'll come round and catch them unawares. Or at least I thought that was a plan. Why am I going up here? I honestly don't know. Maybe I just like the view, because I don't even stay there long enough to put the binos on. Not sure what the thinking was there. Didn't do any harm. Well, there's 2 heavies left. Surely we've got this game. And the ribbons are looking pretty good. There it is. And I completely misplay this. So I want to reload, and I'm watching this Paladin. Well, I'm not really sure what it's doing or what it's trying to do, and I'm just hoping I might get a shot in the back, an aimed shot at that. And, right, reload, and then... why don't I just sit there and let it have an easy shot at me, and then why don't I fire some shots on the front, which obviously aren't going to go in, because the reticle is yellow. And because I don't know what the tank is, I can't remember, well, I don't know what its strengths and weaknesses are. But, I've said this before, if I get myself into a sticky situation, and there absolutely was one, this tank will let me get out of them. But I have to stop hitting trees. They take so much of your speed away. And that Paladin isn't even coming for me. I don't really... I was expecting that to be gunning me down. Well, I'll use this bush for cover. Okay, auto-aim didn't work. 1 shot in, another shot in, get a kill. Yes! Last shot, last tank. 4 kills. 12 damage ribbons, 6 critical, 4 tanks destroyed, half the team spotted. I enjoyed that game, and how did we do overall? Masses of silver, nice XP, over 7,000 combined damage in a tier 8 light tank, and hurrah! Finally get a mastery in the Vanguard. I've had so many first class masteries, but not the ace tanker, and we came top again. Well, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay and a little bit of variety in the gameplay. I did look at the instructions for this cream, and I've kind of misread it actually. Even though it is hand cream, it does say it's suitable for other applications, and I completely misread that. That may explain why in the morning my hands are a little inflexible, should we say. I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep safe, keep tanking, and I'll see you soon. Retro's Rash Cream is available from Wargaming at the princely sum of £40 UK. It is a hand cream. It will also be available next month as a foot cream, and the following month it will be available as a general eczema cream. The cream will be the same, the packaging will just be reskinned. Oh, so the Paladin is a Carnarvon Action X, a Tier 8 British Heavy Premium tank. Had I known that, I would not have auto-aimed at it. Or would I?